And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So today I actually have my good friend Jamie from In the Front Row. I also have my good friend and co-host Alex with me once again. And today we're actually going to be diving into Tall, Dark, and Handsome. This is a non-spoiler review for the Hollyshorts Film Festival. I hope you guys enjoy this review. Thank you to the Hollyshorts Film Festival allowing me to be able to review this movie and allowing some guests as well to be able to review this movie as well. So, without further ado, let's get on with the show. I'm excited to have everyone here. Hey guys, what's up? How's everyone doing?
I'm
Really
living.
good.
I'm good. I'm living
Good.
life. My cat's
So,
life.
I'm neither tall, dark, or handsome, but I'm pleasantly pasty tonight, and I'm also, as well as I'm also gonna have to say I'm also handsome. So, I have that going for me.
Yes, you are handsome. Own that.
Thank you.
Own that.
So are you, man. So are you. And you are tall, and you are dark, and you are handsome.
Sometimes I'm dark. Sometimes I can get dark. But I'll take the tall and handsome parts though.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and point out some stuff in this film as well. So this is actually a screening at Holly Shorts Film Festival on August 17th. The film has previously played at Palm Springs, Los Angeles, Shorts, Flickr Fest, and tons of other great film festivals around the world. It stars Ahmed Shah, soon to be seen in the Pain Hustlers on Netflix alongside Emily Blunt, Chris Evans, and Jay Duplass as a man who is about to propose to his pregnant girlfriend when he discovers that he is not the first Indian boyfriend she's dated. So, what did you guys think of this opening scene, this sequence of basically him just being excited at the fact that he's going to propose to his girlfriend, and then you wind up seeing the anxiety that's about to be played out through this film, and you actually see the ex-boyfriend of his girlfriend. He goes, "Oh, hey, how are you doing? Oh, I'm doing great." And he gives her a hug. He goes, "Hey, say hi to Mama G for me." And he's like, "Who's Mama G?" And I like how the music is playing because it feels like a character in his own self, to where it's actually focusing on his anxiety and how his uh basically how his brain is operating at a miles a minute. But what do you guys think?
Yeah. I liked how, sorry, Alex, were you about to go?
No, I was like, you first. You first.
Okay, thank you. I liked how straight off the bat, in that very first scene where he's opening up the ring, we heard that music. And as you said, John, like it really reflects anxiety. Like it's, to me, it felt like his heart was racing really fast. You've got like it's really getting you hyped up. As if you're like in panic mode sort of thing. That's how I felt from it. And every single scene where he had them sort of anxiety attacks in his head, that's when that music reflected that. So I thought it was really good how the music was really in sync with their emotions. And that part there, I thought it was really funny. Like I didn't expect a short like this to be quite funny. Like I laughed at a few scenes. That one and just a little bit before it when Kieran said, wow, and she said, yeah, 5 months pregnant. And then he goes, it's mine. Like really excitedly. I thought it was really funny. It had good comedy in it. It was good.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That I like how they immediately established that this music, this noise that plays, is like his anxiety, or like I saw it more as like his insecurity. Is like, am I good enough for her? Because that comes up later. It's just like, do you love me for me, or do you just love me because I'm Indian? So like that like opening scene does a great job really setting the stage. And like when the first ex-boyfriend came up, I was like, okay, is this gonna be a race thing, or is this gonna be like an insecurity? This is like oh, he's like, just slightly jealous. He's a jealous person. So that opening scene, I was just I'm excited to see what happens next, because this is gonna be like it can go a number of ways from this point. But then once we get past that, I'll let John go into it. But I really that is a good way to set the stage, that opening scene.
Most definitely, man. Like, and I agree with what Jamie said as well, where basically it sets the stage to what we're about to experience. And at first I'm like, okay, so is she going to go back to the ex-boyfriend, or is this going to be centered around the ex-boyfriend? Because you don't know where it's going. And then when you see them after they have dinner with the parents and everything, and This reminds me of Clerks 1, where basically where the girlfriend asks the boyfriend, well, how many girls have you slept with? Then she goes, well, how many girlfriends did you sleep with? Boyfriends that you slept with? And then it goes into that conversation. And that's where I feel like this actually lands well with. It's very relatable because, okay, well, you slept with this guy because he happens to be Indian. How many Indian guys did you sleep with? Because I thought I was the only one. And she said, oh, I slept with 5. 5? That's racist. Why? Why is it racist? I love you for who you are. Why would that be racist? Because you're obsessed with Indian people. So,
I love how when she said that, she's like 4, and he's like, including me? And she's like, no, 4 and you.
And you.
And how is it racist when I like you? It's great. But yeah, it does tap into, like ethnicity and I laughed at one point there because he actually typed in the Google search bar Indian fetish, to determine if his girlfriend had an Indian fetish. But yeah, I don't know if this is like a relatable thing.
can I just say this on the search thing? One of them looks like an Indian version of Jason Momoa.
Yes.
One of them, which I thought was hilarious.
There was a few characters that come up, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know where I was going with that. Sorry, John.
Ah.
Do you want to chime in, Alex?
Yeah. I liked that the movie, the film touched on this because it's like being in a interracial relationship. That's a very complex thing. Like, obviously love who you're gonna love, but understand that there are these issues that will come up. These things, especially regarding race. Like, you may love your partner, but that's always gonna be a thing that I feel like it's important to have conversations with each other, or especially early on and throughout the relationship. So I feel like what I got from the movie is like, this is something they're just now acknowledging. And it's just like, my God, you already put a ring on it, or you're planning on putting a ring on it. She's pregnant. Like, this is something that needed to happen
before.
Yeah,
well before.
All that.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was really valid for him to be like, hey, so like, do you love me for me, or because I'm Indian? Like that because that is very much a real thing that happens. People do choose because it's like there's this exoticism behind it. And I thought it was cool. I thought it was well done how this was portrayed because, like, of course, obviously she's not like outright like, I want to be with Indian guys because yummy, it's just right. It's a subconscious thing, but like her reaction to it seemed realistic, or it's just like, how could you say that I'm racist? I have your baby. Like, how could I be racist? Like, but it's like a covert kind of racism, like it's hidden under surface. You're not aware of it, and I thought it was portrayed really well in this.
I think so too. I definitely like how it's portrayed and everything. And of course, I see a lot of interracial relationships. So the thing that I've thought of was like, she loves you for who you are. And she doesn't care about your race. Yes, it might be coincidental, that maybe this is actually who she's attracted to. She's attracted to Indian men and everything. And then that's what she goes for because she's attracted to that particular person and everything, that what's on the inside versus what's on the outside. So it could just be a common interest thing. It just happens to land that way. And at least that's how I see it. But I also like how his mind is playing tricks on him, though, too. Because, I think I could go for some Indian food.
Yeah.
And then he goes, what did you say?
Yeah. Yeah. He can't get it out of his brain. Like, she said to him that, he's obsessed, which is true. And then he returned that with, well, you're obsessed with Indians. So, but she hit the nail on the head because it was something that was continuously playing on his mind. But that comes back to what Alex said, where these conversations should have happened prior to them,
right.
Having a baby. But they did touch on that because they said, we had this baby on accident. So, like, I could take it that you don't want me for me, you want me because I'm having your child, sort of thing. So yeah, there's definitely two perspectives there. Yeah. But I did say to John in the green room that it was good that the short sort of left you hanging because you didn't get all of those answers. Like, we didn't see how they got together. We
Right.
didn't see the breakup, so to speak. We don't even see what happens after. So there's all these like missing gaps, which, yeah, it adds to the, well, I liked it because there was some missing gaps.
I like that though. I like that it gives you something to wonder about and let the film stick with you.
Mhm.
And sometimes you'll just be like maybe on the road or whatever, like, I wonder what happened to those characters. Because some movies are like that when it comes down to the shorts, where some films just stick with me. And I
Mhm.
just automatically think of the plot. I think of the characters. Some movies just stick with me that way. This was happens to be one of them. And then one other thing that I want to mention is, okay, so like you mentioned, they probably just met at a club because she said, "Well, you were staring down my blouse the whole entire time when we were dancing." And then they wind up getting together.
Probably the most true thing in the movie. Yep.
Right.
Didn't
And
get him.
which I thought was hilarious because it has a knocked up kind of flavor to it as well.
Mhm.
And so I'm thinking that, like Alex said, she should have went on ahead. He should have went on ahead and got to really know her before slapping a ring on her. Even
Yeah.
though with the circumstances that they're in, you need to find out what kind of person that person is before you even go through with anything. Yes, you have a kid together, but you need to make sure that this person is who you want to be with and make sure you have the connection with that person other than the fact that you have a kid together as well, because you're putting the kid into the whole entire deal with the mess of the relationship too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
And that's something that they touch on when we see them at their parents. Like, you see the different perspectives where she's really enjoying, wearing the Indian dress and having this Indian food and really appreciating Indian culture. Whereas when he goes to her family, he's like, a gun. And then you can hear that music again where his mind's thinking, what? I have to shoot an animal? I have to go hunting with these people? So you can see the differences in their what they enjoy, even, like she really enjoyed his culture, whereas he wasn't feeling the same with hers.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that aspect too, like the difference in the parents, because I feel like his parents were more open and welcoming to her as like their future daughter-in-law, the mother of their grandbaby. They're talking to her, they're speaking with her, they're giving her things. Whereas her family, to him, it was kind of just like, we're still like seeing how you're vibing. Like, oh, is it going to be an Indian wedding? Like, he was still very much like, even though he's sitting in the middle of them, he's still excluded from them at the same time. So there, that he's dealing with. And I got to give props to the lead actor. What's his name, John? The lead actor?
It was Amit, wasn't it? Amit something.
It's Ahmed Saha.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job of just like portraying just being in your head and just like shutting down, because like there are moments in the film like when he's with the family where you just get so in your head and then just everything stops, like you can't really function properly, or just like there was a couple times in this film where I was just like, that's totally me, that's exactly what I do when I'm like in a really stressful situation. Like I just shut down, I can't talk, I can't think straight, I can't talk to anybody. I'm just like so like props to him. I thought this short film was like really well done, and on top of that, I also got to mention that baby was so adorable.
So
my
cute.
goodness. Oh my goodness. As soon as she pulled it, I was like, oh, look at the little one.
And I just want to mention this to everybody too. This is when we get to see the baby and everything, we're going to stop it right there because this is a non-spoiler review, because I want you to know what's going to happen later on. But I do want to reflect back and piggyback off you guys a little bit though too, because you guys bring up a very good factor here between the two different people and the cultures and stuff like that too, because of the fact that you have the family who happens to be Indian, who is a more acceptive to the relationship versus the other way around, where the other parents are not so accepting. either.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they buy the guy a gun, and I would be the same way. I'm like, I don't hunt. I'm not that. I'm not this kind of guy. I would probably pawn it because they look like they have money, so I would just go in and pawn it. But but I would actually, but yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely definitely a cultural difference there for sure. Yes.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so one other thing I want to mention before we actually close out though too, okay? So you have, like I've mentioned, with the family, and it seems like they are racist towards him because of the color of his skin, because of the fact that he's from a different culture that they do not even understand. And I did not like this family. I did not, and then I don't like the father goes, well, don't you think that you should find someone that's a little bit more like you? I'm like, you are such a ball bag. Douchebag.
And same with when the mum got the gift, you know, she got that beautiful Indian dress and she's like, oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
There was that awkward, okay.
No, that's a really important deal, getting that kind of gift. Like, come on.
Yeah. And the first thing the dad said was about the dress was, wow, so it's going to be an Indian wedding. So yeah, you can definitely see there's a cultural shift between the two families. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And then you're wondering, okay, how is this going to work out? Are they going to be together or anything like that? You do see the baby at the very end, and I'm not going to say what happens with that, but some time has passed, and then you wind up seeing the baby. But I like how this actually balances out to where you're rooting for this couple to be able to work things out through this guy's insecurities and hoping that they can somehow work out their differences. And not only for the baby, but for themselves. And you're rooting for both sides. Everything, despite you can't help who your family is. That's your family. Yeah. But you can dictate on how you think and how you act and make sure you're not like them. But you're more accepted towards other people. And I think that's how the girlfriend is. I think she's more receptive to culture, to new things and stuff like that, versus how closed-minded her parents are.
Yeah.
I mean, she did say she did it as like rebellion to her family. To, you know, just I'm just doing this to get them angry, you know. So I was just like, oh, there is part of it. So it's like on both sides, it's just like, you know, he could have been less insecure about it, definitely, but you know, a lot of the stuff he was insecure about was like totally valid. She wasn't really helping out the situation. It was definitely a movie that will require you to have a conversation with someone afterwards. It's like, hey, let's talk about this. What's going on? And I feel like the moral of the story is, you can say that about any movie with a relationship conflict, is like communication, like a ton of communication. And if you're in an interracial relationship, even more communication, especially about race, because that's it may not seem like it's going to be important. Like, oh, I'm not racist or I'm not prejudiced. Like we all kind of are in a way, in some degree or not. So you have to have these conversations. And I feel like this was a very important movie, very important short film.
I think so too. I'm appreciative of the Hollyshorts Film Festival for allowing us to review this. I do want to just want to say good luck to you guys in the Hollyshorts Film Festival. I hope that you guys have a lot of success with this movie on August 17th. With that being said, thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you, Alex, for joining me. As always, I do appreciate you guys. We're going to close out right now. But always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night, and we'll catch you guys back here on the next one.